Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about retrograde planets. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So firstly, what is a retrograde planet? Well, a retrograde planet is when a planet appears to be moving backwards. Now, there is a difference between natal and transit retrograde planets. So in a natal chart, a retrograde planet is a planet that holds past life karma. And all of the planets already hold karma within them, but a retrograde planet is stronger. So it's going to give the results of that planet even stronger in the chart. A natal retrograde planet is definitely indicating that whatever significance that planet has, that there is karma associated with the people who are signified by that planet in a past life experience. A retrograde planet, because it holds more karma, it requires more work, more effort. A transit retrograde is a review period. It's asking you to reflect back on different aspects of your life. So, for example, during a Mercury retrograde, it's asking you to pay attention, to look at the fine print, to go back and reflect on the information from the past to see if you have missed anything. So, just like how these planets are giving this effect of appearing as it is moving backwards, it's asking you to slow down and take your time. Now, one of the concepts that is used for retrograde planets in Vedic astrology sometimes is the idea that when a planet is retrograde, it will behave as if it's in the opposite sign. So, this is something that you can use if you feel that you resonate with this, but this is something that is sometimes utilized. So, for example, if you had Saturn retrograde in this example on the screen in the sign of Cancer, it would behave as if it were in the sign of Capricorn. So let's talk about the different planets then that are retrograde in the chart and what effects they have, starting off with Mars retrograde. So Mars retrograde is very interesting. So again, going back to this idea of what a retrograde is, it's always when the planets gives an appearance that it is going backwards. And this is exactly what Mars retrograde is doing in a person's natal chart. They are pushing forward as Mars is all about our energy, our passion, our determination. Mars is always what we're focused towards, what we're taking action towards. But a person with the Mars retrograde will take action, they will initiate, but then they will take 10 steps back and will reflect on those actions to make sure everything is correct. And this can sometimes hold people back in their pursuits, this constant backtracking. So there's a need to figure out how to apply these steps in a way where you're not continually going backwards in your moves. This becomes extremely important. So, having a solid routine or approach to how you apply these actions instead of doing it impulsively will help you very strongly. Another aspect of this is that Mars shows anger and aggression. It is the most violent of all the planets. So, naturally, wherever Mars is in all of our natal charts, we have to control that area and channelize that energy properly. So when Mars is retrograde, because there is this energy of moving backwards, this is indicating that there can be a tendency to hide anger or aggression with this position, and this can be very destructive. So definitely you want to find a healthy outlet to express your feelings. And there can be a tendency to hide or to fall back with this position a little bit too much. A lot is getting internalized because this normal energy that is supposed to be directed out from Mars, again, is in this retrograde state. So there is a little bit of a fear sometimes of being open with others or being able to direct this energy in a way that is direct and upfront. You can hide a lot, you can hide your intentions, you can hold yourself back with this position. So sometimes there's a need to come outside of your comfort zone and to be honest and upfront with others. One thing that Mars retrograde will do, though, is because Mars is stronger with the retrograde, definitely you are determined, you are passionate about pushing through obstacles in life. So, this makes you a very strong person for sure. Another aspect of Mars is that it deals with sexual energy as well. So, again, there can be a tendency to hide sexuality or to have fears around openly expressing this. So let's talk about Mercury retrograde, probably the most common one because Mercury retrogrades more than any other planet in the chart. So it's not uncommon to have a Mercury retrograde in your birth chart as well. And what this shows is that the way that you think is different. Mercury is all about logical, analytical thinking. And so, with this position, this shows that you have a unique and different way of thinking that is different from the rest of the collective. So definitely this could be a positive thing, especially if Mercury is well placed in the chart. This can give you a very unique and unconventional way of thinking where you actually become like a trendsetter, a pioneer. You're able to see different patterns and trends and think outside the box. So this could make you a very successful person for sure. And especially when it comes to media, to digital technology, to all sorts of forms of entertainment and putting your skills, your knowledge out into the world, you can become very inventive in this area and can be far ahead of your time. Sometimes, though, if Mercury is badly damaged, there can be speech and communication issues with Mercury retrograde. So, this could also create obstacles in your education as well. So, looking at Jupiter retrograde, this is a very interesting retrograde position to have. And essentially, what this shows is that there will be a lot of delays in your life because Jupiter is all about seeing the glass half full. It's a very optimistic planet that is all about taking opportunities, having faith, going for what you want. So when Jupiter is retrograde, there's a tendency to miss out on opportunities. This can hold you back where you can make many mistakes that set you back from some of your goals that you want to achieve in life. And specifically, Jupiter represents our wealth and our security in life. Jupiter also signifies children education. So these areas especially can be delayed and put on hold sometimes with Jupiter retrograde. This could show issues, especially in education. You could just drift off from a course. You could come back to it later in life, but there is some kind of disturbance in education that's often seen with Jupiter retrograde. This also can show that there's a difficulty with finding your spiritual path in life as well, because Jupiter is all about religion, philosophy, spirituality, the higher truth of life. So sometimes there is a tendency to seek out various religions, various spiritual beliefs, but difficulty with actually finding one that really is sticking with you. So, this could show that you gather a lot of knowledge and inspiration from various belief systems, which can be very beneficial. But initially, there can be some confusion with this as well. Jupiter, because it is all about knowledge, though, and retrogrades are strong, this shows that you definitely are a very knowledgeable person. You have a tremendous amount of knowledge and wisdom that you've collected through all of your experiences of trying to seek out this deeper meaning in life. Sometimes, because this also represents children, there could be some kind of unique or interesting circumstance around children also. Children could have a very unconventional personality about them, or they could also have some kind of issues in relationship to education, sometimes with this position. And for a female, this can also play out in terms of a husband. Husband could be a very unusual person with this placement as well, or there could even be some issues that come up in relationships where you could meet someone and then there's separation and then somehow you find your way back with them in the end. Jupiter, because it is about our sense of security, our sense of fortune, optimism, joy in life, there's a lack of this that's often seen. There's a feeling of insecurity that can come with this. But through your belief systems, through your quest for spiritual knowledge and truth, this gives you the feeling of security. So Venus retrograde is another interesting position. Venus is very important in terms of how we interact and connect with other people, because Venus is all to do with relationships, with union, with bringing us together. And Venus especially has to do with romance, sensuality, marriage, childbirth. So all of these things become very important. Venus retrograde can show that there is some kind of a fear around connecting with people emotionally. This position sometimes can give a difficulty with emotional expression and relating with other people. There is some kind of a unique way of connecting with people. On the opposite extreme, it could also show that your social connections just completely engulf every aspect of your life. So there's an inability to actually focus towards important goals as you're always focused towards the social life. This could also make you shy away from relationships. You could be celibate with Venus retrograde, even with this position. And as far as creativity, as Venus is all about expressing ourselves artistically, there is some kind of block in this area that can be seen also. Another aspect of this is that there could be something unique or unusual about the way that you express yourself creatively. So you could come up with all sorts of out of the box and strange forms of art. Saturn retrograde is a very difficult retrograde sometimes because Saturn itself is a heavily karmic planet that teaches us about the reality of life. Saturn is always where we feel that there is some kind of block, frustration, anxiety, fear in that area, particularly at a younger age. Saturn is all about developing ourselves through maturity and experience. And so naturally, Saturn is an area where we always feel some kind of frustration at an earlier age in life. But when Saturn's retrograde, the effects are even stronger. So definitely this gives a strong frustration with the difficulties of life. And because of this, this could make you a little bit impulsive where you want to just overcome those difficulties. So you have huge strength and determination with Saturn retrograde. You're always trying to overcome difficulties in life. You're always finding your way out of difficult situations, always trying to get back up when you fall down. So huge determination is seen with Saturn retrograde. So another tip to look at retrograde planets is to look at the signs that are associated with the planet. So, for example, if you have Jupiter retrograde, look at the houses that Sagittarius and Pisces are placed in. Those houses will also get affected by the retrograde. Now, a quick example of a retrograde is, again, looking back at Saturn retrograde. In this example, Saturn is placed in Libra in the 7th house of the chart. So this is an Aries ascendant chart. And so in this case, again, this shows huge determination, huge persistence to overcome obstacles and challenges in life. And there will most likely be karmic issues related to relationships as it's sitting in this 7th house in Libra. But Saturn is exalted in Libra and is Digbala, has directional strength here in the 7th house. So this is a very powerful position of Saturn where it can give positive results for you. Also understand that the 10th house, where Capricorn is, and the 11th house of Aquarius will also be impacted by this retrograde as well. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, don't forget to leave a like. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.